Well, a man who's been watching events in Europe closely is Grant Williams, the strategy advisor at Vulpes investment hedge funds, and he joins me now from Singapore. Welcome again to the program, Grant.
Hi, Andrew.
Well, it seems that on the surface, EU foreign ministers have something to work with tonight after that deal 10 days ago to allow banks to have direct access to the European bailout fund. Do you think there will be any progress tonight?
No, frankly. I mean, to put it in a nutshell, look, we're in this crazy feedback loop where the heads of state come up with this plan that the finance ministers are supposed to then go away and work into something that is tangible, and it just never happens. And we're moving closer and closer towards the end game here. And realistically, the only end game that's going to actually make any real difference is some kind of fully fledged backstop for this debt. And that's going to be a real problem for Germany. So while there's going to be a lot of talk, I think we're seeing again today Spanish bonds back above 10-year bonds back above 7%, Italy back above 6%. And so the market's actually speaking ahead of this summit, and slowly but surely the benefit of the doubt that these guys in the foreign ministry offices around Europe keep getting ahead of these summits is starting to evaporate. And with the euro down at 122, people are starting to vote with their feet, and they're leaving the Eurozone in droves now.
Is one of the problems that it's going to take some time to put in place the mechanisms for that deal reached about 10 days ago for banks to have direct access to the European bailout fund, while, as you've noted, on the other hand, borrowing costs for countries keep escalating?
Absolutely. And of course, you're trying to put together a very complex plan with a constantly shifting landscape. And we're going to see a bunch of elections, we're going to see changes in minister heads, we're going to see all kinds of things move. So what gets agreed last week, what gets agreed over the next couple of days, it's all subject to being rewritten at some point in the not too distant future, depending on the whim of an electorate. So I really don't see how they can cobble this thing together.
And also tonight you've got the head of the European Central Bank, Mario Draghi, addressing the European Parliament. The ECB cut interest rates last week, and there's speculation that the ECB is going to swing into action by providing more liquidity for banks, buying more bonds and things like that. How do you read it?
Well, look, they could do that, but look, we saw the best part of €1 trillion in the two LTRO exercises in December and February, and the effects that they had were significant in December, were far less substantial in February, and so the sort of law of diminishing returns is in play here. So Draghi's kind of cut rates down. He's got a little bit further to go till he gets down to sort of Fed levels, but he's running out of arrows in his quiver now. So it's really now about jawboning. I think these guys are looking to the Fed to ride to the rescue. But even if that happens now, I think so many people are waiting for QE3 or whatever the Fed want to call it, that the actual event may end up to be a real big disappointment for these markets.
Well, another issue that's still making headlines in Europe, of course, is the Barclays Bank LIBOR interest rate rigging scandal. On this program last Thursday, David Buick told us from London that LIBOR was basically irrelevant. It had become redundant because of the GFC, yet you think there's huge implications from this. So why do you think that?
I think there are implications. Look, this is a rate that has, I mean, you can range estimates anywhere from $300 to $800 trillion worth of derivatives, investment accounts, everything is priced off LIBOR. So there are massive implications here, even if it's just in the sort of lawsuits that the banks could be facing. I was reading somewhere today that this could be the banking industry's tobacco moment, $200, $300 billion lawsuits coming in thick and fast. This definitely has implications. There is all kinds of conspiracy theories, but what we have here is the perfect storm. We have traders looking to manipulate LIBOR for their own P&L ends. We have banks looking to lower their own funding rates, and we have governments above them all who are looking to keep rates low so that the banks don't get shut out of the market. So everybody had an interest in keeping these rates artificially manipulated, and once people get their teeth into this story, there's no telling where it could go.
Well, Grant Williams, it sounds like there's some very interesting times ahead. Thank you for your time tonight.
For sure. Thanks, Andrew.